I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Music Theory Tuition series where I work with you step by step through the ABRSM Discovering Music Theory grades. I'll work through every single exercise and explain everything you need to know. You can access information about the books I have available to help you on my website. Go to sharonbill.com. For advert-free and longer lessons, you can become a patron at patreon.com/SharonBill. If you can give me a like, that would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel to stay updated. You can support this channel by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/SharonBill. Let's press on to page 51 of the Grade 4 Discovering Music Theory workbook. We continue to look at primary chords, the triads built on chords on the notes 1, 4 and 5, the tonic, the subdominant and the dominant. And we're not really covering any new information here at all. It's just going to be presented to us in a slightly different way. And this is the really exciting part, because this is where we now start into the kind of the basics of advanced musical harmony, and this is the foundation for what we will be working on in all of the subsequent grades, even if you go on to the advanced grades 6, 7 and 8. And really it's just the same triad, but of course a composer does not want to be restricted to just 3 notes. This is the basic form of the triads built on the 1st, the 4th and the 5th degrees of the scale. But here we're going to now have a duplication of a note so that we can have kind of like the chord and a bass note, rather like a pedal note if you were thinking chord and pipe organ bass note. So it's the same notes, but we have an extra note duplicated from one of these notes of the triad. And then here it's exactly the same 4 notes. You know, we've got the same triad plus a note that has been duplicated from the chord. So if it's a C chord, we could have the C twice, as you can see, duplicating that sort of bass pedal note, as it were. And instead of having 3 in one part and then just a pedal note, as it were, this is divided into sort of like a vocal arrangement: soprano, alto, tenor and bass voices. It's exactly the same notes, just with one of these notes duplicated, but this provides the foundation for all sorts of harmonic opportunities later. And that's why we've got it written on what looks like piano music, because we need to spread between a wider range of notes. So we've got to be thinking in treble and bass at the same time now. However, the principle remains exactly the same. And if you sort of just peg out your thinking first, all of the hard work is done. And so if you peg out your chords 1, 4 and 5, it's easy to then describe these chords. So in D major, we know that chord 1 shall be built on D, chord 4 should be built on D, E, F, G, the 4th degree of the scale, and D, E, F, G, A, the 5th degree of the scale. And then we build our triad D, F, A, 1st, 3rd, 5th, G, B, D, A, C, E. Of course it should be F sharps and C sharps in D major, but actually our key signature will do all of that thinking for us. And so this is what should be represented in the music here. However, we need to say whether this has happened or not. So watching out, remember we're now in bass clef and treble clef. We have a D, an A, an F sharp, of course, and a D. This indeed is chord 1. We just have the D twice. Now here we have a G, and then into the treble we have a D and a B. That's going to be chord 4. That's correct. I need to say it's correct, not label it. Now here, chord 5, we should have an A. What have we got? We've got an A, an E, a D and an A. It should be a C sharp, shouldn't it? That's wrong. It should be a C sharpened. So that's wrong. Let's try this next one. And so it's all to do with getting your thinking done before you even start. Chords 1, 4, 5. We're in E major. E is the first degree of the scale. Again, you can refer to a piano keyboard if that helps. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 is A, and 5 is B. Build your triad. So we have first, third, fifth, E, G, B. Then we have A, C, E, and then we have B, D, F. Of course, that will be C sharp, that will be D sharp, that will be F sharp, that will be G sharp, but your key signature does all of that thinking for you. So then, what have we got here? Now it's a slightly different arrangement. Instead of being sort of in the vocal score arrangement, we've got it more kind of chords with a bass pedal note, as it were. Even if it isn't written for pipe organ, a low note is referred to as a pedal note sometimes. And so we have an E, a G, a B and an E. Of course it's a G sharp, your key signature does that. That's chord 1, that's correct. What do we have here? We have an A, a C, an F and an A. Of course they are sharp, but your key signature deals with that. Now is that chord 4? Oh, here we are, silly me. It should be A, C sharp, E. That one is wrong, it should be here. So that's wrong, isn't it? And then we have a B, a D, an F and a B. Of course that's sharpened, of course that's sharpened. Your key signature does all of that thinking for you, and that is indeed chord 5. So do go on and try this remaining 2. Once you've got your chords allocated here, it's easy enough to work out what's going on. So let's check these through together. So chord 1, 4 and 5 are going to be our concern here. So chord 1 is built on the tonic C, C, D, E, F and then G. Build our triad C, E, G, F, A, C, G, B, D. And again we can double check if that's the first, the third and the fifth starting on the tonic. That is the basis for our chord 5 there, the bottom of our chord 5. Now that's not quite all the thinking, because although the key signature does the work for us, this in the minor key is where our 7th degree occurs. 7, the leading note B to C, 7 to 8. That must be raised, and so it's a B flat at the moment. It needs to be a B natural, doesn't it? That's the one to watch out for in a minor key. So what have we got here? We've got a C, an A, an E and a C. Of course they are flats, but your key signature does all of that work. Now chord 1 shouldn't be A, it should be G. That's wrong. Then we have an F, an A, a C and an F. Of course it's an A flat, your key signature does that. That is chord 5. And then we have a G, a D, a G and a B natural, which is exactly what we want to make the dominant chord in a minor key. And then finally chords 1, 4, 5, B, C, D, E is the 4th degree, F is the 5th. So build your triad first, third, fifth, first, third, fifth, first, third, fifth. Your key signature F sharps and C sharps will deal with everything except in the minor key, the 7th degree, which falls in the middle of this chord. The 7th degree, if B is the 8th, the tonic, A is the 7th, that should be sharpened, that should be raised. So what do we have here? We have a B, a D and an F, F sharp, of course, because of your key signature. That's correct. Then we have an E, G, E, B. That's correct for chord 4, the subdominant chord. Now what do we have here? F, A, C, F. It looks like it's correct, but it's not, because that should be raised. We need to remember the 7th degree of the scale is always raised by an accidental, so that's incorrect. However, that's that page nicely completed. I hope this is helpful to your studies. Please do like and subscribe to stay updated. If you'd like to support this channel, you can buy me a coffee, and for advert-free lessons, you can become a patron. Do visit my website where you'll find many resources available to help you. Visit sharonbill.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.